What's up, groups? It's good to see you. Good to hear that you're all back in action. Welcome from myself, Pastor Nate, and Pastor Brian, the rest of the NFC Student Ministries staff and people. Just want to provide a little bit of direction for you guys as groups. Some groups are doing great, reading scripture together each week, coming together and talking about them, obviously rolling through the questions. That's awesome. Some groups are requesting to continue to have some kind of study to work through. So I'm going to provide just a little bit of some direction for those groups and for whoever wants to use it. And I've created like a little rhythm, and that's not mine. It's actually an ancient practice called Lectio Divina, and the simple version of it is read, think, pray, and live. So there's 4 little steps that you can roll through, and I'll explain those to you right now as we do today's first lesson. So it starts with reading scripture together. So we're going to start in Genesis, kind of begin to create this overarching story of God's big picture vision for all of creation, kind of this narrative approach to reading His Word. And we'll start at the beginning. So I'm going to read Genesis 1, just a couple of verses, but want you guys to read the whole creation, first part of Genesis 1 through chapter 2, verse 4, covering all 7 days. And I'm going to read from the Message, and it's a kind of a cool way to read it. So if you want to do that, great. If you just read out of NIV or whatever, that's awesome too. So here you go. First this, God created the heavens and the earth. All you see, all you don't see. Earth was a soup of nothingness, a bottomless emptiness, an inky blackness. God's Spirit brooded like a bird above the watery abyss. God spoke, light, and light appeared, and God saw that light was good and separated light from dark. God named the light day, He named the dark night. It was evening, it was morning, day 1. So after you read, I want you to think. I want you to dialogue together, talk about it. And here's 3 questions that will also be on Facebook for you to talk about. What does it mean that God created everything? Number 2 is, what does this 7-day project of creation tell us about God? And number 3, what does it mean to you to know that a perfect God who created everything also created you? What does that mean? So talk about those things. Think about those things together. And then I want you to pray together. Maybe you pray about some things that God brought to your attention through the reading of Scripture, of that passage. Maybe you're going to pray about some things you talked about as a group. Just a short time of prayer together. And the last section is live, and there's a little project, an activity that you guys can start this week. I want you to make a poster together, some kind of a picture, and each of you add one thing to that tonight. And as you come and gather week after week, I want you to add one more thing. So in essence, you're creating a project, you're creating something together and participating in the creative process to help us think about the reality that as God created the world, He's calling us to be creative agents in the world, to be participating in the redemption and restoration of all creation. It's a beautiful thing. And finally, there's the live piece. And that live piece, with the kind of being a creative agent, is journeying through the questions together. So spend some time talking about those, be respectful of each other, listen well, and pray for each other, and really do the job of being a faith community, holding each other accountable throughout these weeks. I love you guys. I'm so proud to be your pastor, to journey with you, and so proud of what God is doing in each of your lives and these groups. It's awesome. You guys make me a blessed individual, and I know you bless each other. So have a great night. Read, think, pray, live.